The story of Cula Panthaka, how a dullard attained sainthood. Long ago, in the bustling city of Rajagaha, there lived a wealthy banker with two grandsons, Panthaka and Cula Panthaka. Panthaka, the elder, was bright and sharp, always eager to listen to the teachings of the monks. His natural curiosity led him to join the Buddhist order, and over time, he attained the noble state of an arahant, a fully enlightened being. Cula Panthaka, the younger brother, also decided to follow his elder sibling into the monastic life. But there was one problem. In a past life, during the time of the Buddha Katsapa, Cula Panthaka had mocked a monk who was dull and slow to learn. For this misdeed, Cula Panthaka was born with a mind that struggled to grasp even the simplest teachings. Try as he might, he couldn't memorize a single verse in 4 long months. Panthaka, seeing his younger brother's difficulties, grew frustrated. He even told Cula Panthaka that he wasn't cut out for the monastic life and would be better off leaving the order. Feeling ashamed and disheartened, Cula Panthaka decided to return to lay life. But just as he was about to leave, the Buddha intervened. One day, Ziwa Ka, a physician and a devoted lay follower, invited the Buddha and the monks to his home for a meal. Panthaka, who was in charge of organizing the meal invitations, left Cula Panthaka off the list. When Cula Panthaka discovered this, he became even more upset. He was ready to give up and leave the monastery, but the Buddha, understanding Cula Panthaka's inner turmoil, called him to sit in front of the Gandakudi hall. "Take this clean cloth," the Buddha said, "and rub it while you repeat the words Raju Haranam, which means taking on impurity. Do this while sitting here, and do not move." The Buddha then left with the other monks to attend Ziwa Ka's meal offering. As Cula Panthaka sat there rubbing the cloth and repeating the words, something unexpected happened. The cloth, which was once clean, began to get dirtier and dirtier as he rubbed it. He saw how the dust and grime slowly collected on the fabric. And a deep realization dawned on him. The cloth, just like all things in life, was impermanent, subject to change and decay. At that moment, the Buddha, through his mystical powers, sent a beam of radiant light to appear before Cula Panthaka. The Buddha's image spoke directly to him, saying, "It is not only the cloth that becomes dirty with dust. Within yourself, too, is the dust of greed, hatred, and ignorance. It is only by removing these inner impurities that you can achieve true freedom and attain enlightenment." Cula Panthaka understood. He realized that the dust on the cloth mirrored the passions and defilements within his own heart. He knew that he had to work diligently to overcome his ignorance, to clear his mind, and to cultivate wisdom. With renewed determination, Cula Panthaka sat in deep meditation. In a short time, he attained arahantship, the highest state of spiritual enlightenment. His mind, once clouded and dull, was now as clear and radiant as the morning sun. Meanwhile, at Ziwa Ka's house, the Buddha and the monks were about to perform a traditional ritual. But when the Buddha was asked if any monks were still at the monastery, he replied, "There is one monk left." "Who?" the messenger asked. "The one named Cula Panthaka," the Buddha said. The messenger went to the monastery to find him, but when he arrived, he was astonished. There was not one Cula Panthaka, but 1,000 identical monks, all standing in perfect unison. Each one appeared as if they were Cula Panthaka himself. Baffled, the messenger returned to Ziwa Ka and reported the strange sight. Ziwa Ka, curious and a little confused, sent the messenger back again. This time, the messenger was instructed to call out only the real Cula Panthaka. When he arrived at the monastery, he again found 1,000 identical monks. This time, he was told to listen carefully and find the one who first spoke. When the messenger caught hold of the one monk who had spoken, the others vanished, and Cula Panthaka, now radiating with the power of his enlightenment, followed him back to Ziwa Ka's house. After the meal, as instructed by the Buddha, Cula Panthaka stood before the gathered monks and lay people and gave a profound discourse on the Dharma. His voice was strong and clear, like a lion's roar. He spoke with such confidence and wisdom that everyone was amazed. This was no longer the dull monk who had struggled to memorize a single verse. This was a fully awakened arahant. When the other monks later spoke of Cula Panthaka's remarkable transformation, the Buddha, in praise of his diligent efforts, spoke of verse, through diligence, mindfulness, discipline, with regard to moral precepts, and control of his senses, let the man of wisdom make of himself an island which no flood can overwhelm. This was the Buddha's way of saying, through persistent effort and wisdom, a person can become unshakable, just like an island that no storm can wash away. And so, Cula Panthaka's story became a shining example of the power of patience, perseverance, and the unyielding determination to overcome obstacles on the path to enlightenment. That is for now. See you in the next story. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.